right, guys, welcome back to this week's episode of A Journey to One Bitcoin, where I sit with you every single week and we stack Bitcoin together. Guys, it was a super exciting week. Bitcoin skyrocketed. It shot up to 118,000, almost $118,000, and it has reached new all-time highs. So congratulations to everybody that has been stacking along with me. We are 100% in profit, meaning every single investment that we've made so far has made money. So congratulations to all you guys that have been stacking along. Obviously, we know Bitcoin goes up, it goes down. On this channel, we really don't worry too much about the day-to-day price action, right? The idea here is that we are stocking for the long term. So we're going to just stay humble, stack sats, right? We're just going to keep continuing to save in Bitcoin a certain amount, a certain quantity every single week, and make sure that we're just trying to hit our goals consistently, right? If you're new to this channel, the point of this channel is I post a video every single week and you guys can follow along and stack along with me. You can learn how I budget and use my techniques and my tools to be able to budget for yourself and invest in Bitcoin. Okay, every single tool that you'll see me use, I have available. You can reach out to me. I'm happy to provide you all with these tools so that you can also start building your Bitcoin stack. So with that being said, let's jump right into it. This is week 9 of us stacking. This month, every single week will be for my budgeting, right? I'll be stacking $461.35 every single week. I don't care that the price shot up to 117. Again, you'll see when I go to do my buy how I adjust the pricing slightly lower to see if we can catch any downswings. But I do think we're in the middle of the start of the bull run, if that makes any sense. I guess we are in the middle of this bull run at this point. I think towards the end of the year where it's really going to start shooting up in price. And so I'm just going to continue to stack throughout the process. I think the value of Bitcoin in the long term is well over $1 million. So buying it at 100,000, 117, yeah, it doesn't. It seems like still a pretty good investment, right? I think if we start to get into the weeds and start thinking about it from a perspective of this is just a savings tool, right? We're investing what we really can invest every single month. We're not overextending ourselves or over leveraging ourselves. We are just stacking what we can. And so in doing it that way, you're not worried about whether it goes up and goes down, right? You're just doing it consistently, and that's what we're doing on this channel. So again, I'm stacking for this month every single week, $461.35. Our initial goal is 0.1. If we can get to 0.1, we would have hit our first SMART goal, which is really exciting. That's a huge number, guys. That's basically $10,000 in Bitcoin, a little bit more than that at this point. And then we have our current BTC price, which is bouncing around 117. Again, this sheet gives you live action price. It updates every 20 minutes or so, so you get to see that as you use this sheet. And yeah, for currently where we're at for this month, we should, let's put this at 100% so you guys can see something pretty cool here. What's going on here? Let's click in here. Why is that happening? Here we go. If I put this at 100%. For this month, we should be stacking about 0.15532 Bitcoin if Bitcoin's price stays around the same. And we'll be hitting our goal in about 6 months' time to be able to get to that 0.1. We're 27%. At the end of this month, we'll be 27% of the way there. So pretty exciting stuff. We're getting there little by little. And we just got to keep stacking along, guys. Keep stacking along. Don't get discouraged in any way. With the price action, it can go up, it can go down. The idea is just stay consistent, right? So last week, we went ahead and did a buy we invested $461. That was the first one for the month of July. It filled at 107,984. So really awesome. We got it at a nice price, right? And right now our weighted Bitcoin average is about 106,495. That's our average price of what we've bought Bitcoin at. And so Bitcoin sitting at 117 right now, we're 100% in profit. So really cool stuff. Now what we're going to do is get in our next buy, right? So again, I'm investing 461.35 every single week for the month of July. So let's jump right into Kraken and get this thing going. So here we are in Kraken. We are going to go ahead and put in this new 461.35. Guys, like I say in every single video, I've already updated Kraken with the 461.35 that I'm going to be investing. It's already in here, right? So I'm going to go ahead and put in this Bitcoin buy right here, 461.35. I'm going to use my USD balance. Like I said, I've already deposited from my bank account. So I already have a USD balance of 461.35 in here. And then, like I always tell you guys, I don't do a buy now because it will put the pricing of Bitcoin higher than the actual current market price. So I do a custom order always. And then I'm going to go into the chart. We're going to take a look at this chart and see where Bitcoin's at currently. So Bitcoin's about 117,706. I'm going to go ahead and drop it down 1%. I do think we might be able to catch it at 115, maybe 2%. There could be a pullback to 115 here, which is only a 2% drawdown. So we can try that. The dangerous part about doing that during this time, we are in the middle of this bull run, is that it is very easy that Bitcoin can just keep running on us, right? Next week, all of a sudden, Bitcoin just starts running up to 120, 125, and you might not see this 115 or 117 price for quite a while, maybe till next year. But we're going to go ahead and do it anyways. It's fine. I'm not too worried about it. We'll leave it at the 115, 255, 67, and move forward with that price point. So far we've been doing it that way. Everything's been filling. We've been catching down swings. We've been able to get a little bit better price point for Bitcoin every time we've done a buy in this way. And actually, we had one really strong pullback where it went down to 103, which we hadn't seen in a while, and I just went ahead and filled it right away. Like I told you on that video, I thought it was better to go ahead and just place the order than to do a limit order at 1 or 2% underneath that market value. So in this case, because Bitcoin's run up, I do expect some kind of pullback here, at least a little bit. Not a whole lot, but 2% I think is fair. So we're gonna go ahead and put that in at 461.35. Review, and then that's right. So we're putting it at a custom price of 115. We got here 115, 255. I'm writing that down. 255.67 for that 461.35, and then we've got a fee of $6.82. So we got to put that in, $6.82. It is a little bit higher right now. Obviously, the network is getting a lot more attention. With the run-up of Bitcoin, people start to gravitate towards the network, right? People start to exchange on the network more and more, and so then that's going to drive up the costs a bit. So $6.82 for now. Actually, a buddy of mine just reached out to me the other day. He said that Strike has really, really good fees. I think they don't have fees for certain transactions. So I'm going to look into Strike to possibly start using Strike going forward. I think Kraken is really, really good. It's much better than Gemini, but obviously we want to reduce fees as much as we can. So I'm going to check that out, the Strike exchange, and see if it's better. And if it is, I'll introduce it to you guys and show you guys how to use it, and we can start using Strike on this channel. So we just went ahead and set up our buy. So I'm going to go ahead and start updating the accumulation log. And again, guys, anytime you do a buy, you want to jump into the accumulation log and just fill in these orange cells to go ahead and start logging every single buy that you do, and then you can start looking at your P&Ls, how much Bitcoin you've accumulated. Again, it'll do its average weighted price, so it's a really cool tool to log all your Bitcoin buys and keep your stuff organized, right? Because at the end of the year, if you do sell anything, if you want to report any information tax-wise, you have your accumulation log, and if you've sold anything, you can take a look at that as well. So it's a really neat tool. So I'm going to go ahead and put this here. Today is the 11th. And the exchange we use is Kraken. Again, we did 461.35. And the fee was at 682. Actually, look at that. The fee is actually the same as it was last time. So that works. So in total, we actually invested in a Bitcoin 454.53. And our Bitcoin purchase price is 115,255 and 67 cents. Let's see if that fills. Hopefully it fills before next week's video, and if it does, awesome, and if it doesn't, we'll force fill it at wherever it's at. Hopefully it doesn't run up on us. If it does, no big deal. Like I said, we're trying to just stack Bitcoin in this channel, right? So amazing. We've done our week 9 new buy. We're 31% now of the way to our goal, which is amazing. We've got 0.03 Bitcoin stacked up. And guys, that's just in a matter of 9 weeks, right? Of just consistently stacking. And obviously your investment quantity might be less than mine. No big deal. Whatever it is that you're stacking, as long as you're doing it responsibly and you're not feeling like you're over leveraged, don't ever feel like you need to chase Bitcoin. You need to catch up to Bitcoin, guys. If you're just watching this channel, you're still early, right? Bitcoin is it's literally 0.1% of the entire capital market of the world, right? It's only got $2 trillion of market cap. There's, I think, 500 or 450 trillion dollars in assets in the world, and so you really just at a 0.1% of all the assets is the market cap that Bitcoin has captured. You're still very, very early, so don't try to chase Bitcoin. Don't throw as much as you can at it. Stack responsibly, because that's what's going to make you stick around for the long term. I've been doing this now for almost 6 years. This is the best way to do it. I've done it every which way, where I've thrown a ton of money at Bitcoin and then it falls because I got excited to invest in Bitcoin. And when it pulls back, you start to worry. You start to panic, right? And you need more conviction before you can start doing things like that. So the idea is to just stay consistent, right? Not everybody can throw $10,000, $15,000 a lump sum at Bitcoin and just hodl, right? Even if you talk to guys that have been around since 2012, 2013, everybody thinks, oh, they're billionaires, they're rich. It's like, no, a lot of these guys actually sold out on a lot of this Bitcoin because it ran up from, $100 of Bitcoin to 1,000 and they sold, right? So, you can't stack in any way where you're just not being consistent, right? The idea here is that we're going to stick around for years and just continue to stack and build our savings account with Bitcoin. Really simple. This is a savings tool that you can later use to pay down debt. You can use it to pay down credit cards. If you want to buy groceries, you just cash out a Bitcoin and you buy groceries, but you keep a nice stack of savings in Bitcoin so that you can watch it grow, right? Bitcoin is a naturally deflationary asset for the characteristics that it has, that it's a finite supply, right? It's halving cycles. There's a number of reasons why Bitcoin is a deflationary asset, and so that's why we're seeing that it's growing in value all the time, right? So keep that in mind whenever you're stacking. We're getting closer again to our goal. 0.03 is where we're at. We're trying to get to 0.1, and we are 31% of the way there, and we should be at our goal in about 6 months. So by the end of this year, we will have 0.1 Bitcoin. When we get to that goal, we'll do a big video for that. But really exciting, guys. Again, we're if you've been stacking along with me, you are completely in the money. Nothing but profits. So really exciting stuff. Again, on this channel, we don't get too bogged down with the profit and losses in dollars. The idea is stacking Bitcoin. So, guys, I know last video I told you that I was going to go ahead and start moving my Bitcoin out of the exchanges. I am still waiting on my wallet to come in. I apologize, my wallet to come in to be able to go ahead and send out that Bitcoin from the exchanges. Again, I really don't like how much money we have in the exchanges right now. I never keep this amount on there. But for the sake of this channel, I want to be sure that I start with a fresh wallet so you guys can see it come in. You guys can see how I transact out of the exchange and how I secure the Bitcoin on a cold storage wallet. Okay. So I'll show you guys how to do that on the next video. I will have the wallet within this week, so I'll set all that up. And so by the next video, I will have that set up and we can get this cash out of the exchange. I do want to get that money out of there as quickly as possible. And then also last week, I did not post a video. It was 4th of July weekend. I did record a video. I'll just be posting both of them, both of this one and last week's video up this week, so you guys can go ahead and check that one out as well. If you like the channel, you like what we're doing here, again, what we're trying to do is build a community that we're just stacking together and we're holding each other accountable, staying disciplined when it comes to saving in Bitcoin. That's the goal, right? That's what everyone should be doing. If you're not saving in Bitcoin, you are losing your wealth. You are literally caught in a rat race of trying to keep up with an inflating dollar money that is just not holding its purchasing power. And you want to get away from that and go into something that's actually going to retain your time and your energy, right? That's the idea of Bitcoin. And so if you like what we're doing, if you want to join the community and just stack along with me, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. It helps the algorithm, helps me get out there as well. This is a fairly new channel. Actually, it's a very new channel. I just started posting not that long ago. So would love to start getting this channel more and more out there. If you have any comments, if you have any questions about what we're doing, leave some comments below and I'll be sure to get back to you guys. All right, thanks so much for joining week 9, and I will see you again next week to keep stacking, my friends. Take care.